Chapter 12, Jason's Gold. Back on the Alaska side of the pass, at the scales, Jason took one last look at the human cavalcade inching up the Chilkoot to the sky. Close by, chuckling erupted from a cluster of Indian packers. 3 Tlingits were enjoying the spectacle of a young white man about to shoulder an immense pack and start up the golden stairs, clad only in his bright red long underwear. The day was unusually warm, making the costume a sensible one for climbing the Chilkoot, but it was a striking sight. Suddenly Jason recognized that tangle of hair with one lock falling across the forehead and those broad, square shoulders. "Jack London," he cried. Jason. Here was the familiar infectious grin, the laughter in the Californian's gray-blue eyes. Here was an old friend, though Jason had known him only briefly. Jack stepped off the trail. "Sit down and tell me how you came by that beautiful animal. I'll take a few more minutes before my last run up the stairs." "Run! Ha!" Jason began where Jack had asked, and told about the man who had lost his reason drowning his dogs on the White Pass Trail. London's deep-set eyes burned at the telling. He winced at the gruesome end the man had made of his life and shook his head grimly, looking at the ground as Jason described the carnage of dead horses and the new name for the trail. "What about your brothers, then? If you were turned back, are you on your way over the Chilkoot to find them?" Jason had to tell them that he had already been over the Chilkoot to Lake Bennett and failed. "If I'd only known," London exclaimed. 2 days ago, we took on a new partner who had only what he was carrying on his back, same as you." "You did? What happened?" "My brother-in-law, Captain ChApter, you remember him. His heart and his rheumatism would allow him to continue, no matter how game he was for the adventure. He's turned back, gone home to San Francisco. We took in an old salt named Tarwater. He's taken over for Captain ChApter's outfit. Only clothing and such. The rest we left back in Canyon City. Tarwater intends, one way or another, simply to squeak through. I talked my 3 brother partners into taking him to Dawson City, purely for the stories he tells. Among us, we've got around 3,500 pounds of grub. The Mounties down at Tagish Lake were told want to see 700 pounds per man, so we've got him covered for customs. Once he gets to Dawson, Tarwater will be on his own. Any chance I could sneak on board and king here too?" Jason shook his head decisively. 5 men, 4 outfits will about sink us. My partners would execute me if I added someone else. It really would be dangerous. "Do you have your boat built on the other side?" "By no means, but as soon as Sloper or Goodman or I finish lugging our outfits to Lindeman, we can help Thompson take down trees, build a saw pit, and start making some lumber. I've knocked out about in small boats enough to name their parts in my sleep, and Merritt Sloper's actually built them." "How far have you moved the rest of your outfit?" "It's on top of the pass, barely onto the Canadian side. Do you realize that very few of these thousands of people are going to beat winter to Dawson City? Not get through? Not this year. They're going to be camping at Lindeman or Bennett all winter, or else they'll retreat to Dyea or Skagway. There's just not time. It's going to take most people 2 and 3 months to lug their outfits to Lindeman." "Do they know?" "Oh, they know. If they're carrying their outfits on their own backs, and almost everyone is, believe me, they figured out the cruel mathematics of it." "Can you beat freeze up yourself?" "I think I have a sporting chance. At the beginning, I put my pencil to paper and figured out what I had to do to complete my portage by the end of August. 4 times a day, I carry 150 pounds 3 miles forward. You can do that?" "I've become a human pack animal, Jason. I've been walking 24 miles a day, 12 of it loaded down like a mule." "You can't weigh much more than 150 yourself." 165 when I left home." "When's the latest you can have your boat finished and still start in time?" "By the 15th of September, we hear. We need to be on the water and rowing hard for the Golden City." "You'll make it. I know you will." "What about you, though? I can see it in your eyes, Jason. You're like me. More than anything, you want to know what's around the bend and over the next hill, don't you?" "You know I do. You and I, we're the kind who relish the hardest work if there's purpose to it, and we're not being exploited by the lazy rich. Why, I'd stand up to God and man and the devil to be able to choose my own road, and I know you would too." "You know I would. I'm never going back to a place like that cannery, if that's what you mean. Never." London's eyes were lit with a peculiar fire. Listen, then. You can still have your chance at the Klondike. I've been dreading having to return to Canyon City and dispose of Captain Shepard's outfit. It's right there, neatly covered with a tarp, with his brand all over it. If you had an outfit, if you were willing to lug it over the pass with a dog that could carry, like yours, to help you out. Yes, I'm thinking. If you had a complete outfit on the shore of Linneman, and were willing to make yourself useful into the saw pits, that's inhumanely brutal work. You stand a chance that a boat-building crew would take you on. They'd add the benefit of your labor without drawing down their grub. It might be worth a try. Even if you don't hook up with a boat this fall, you'd have the outfit for another try come breakup. Jason thought about it. He didn't have to think long. I'd do it. Of course I'd do it. But I'm flat busted. I could make some money carpenting in Skagway or Dyea, but by the time I've had enough to buy Shepard's outfit, you'd... No, I didn't make myself clear. That outfit is yours if you want it. You couldn't do that, Jack. Sure I could. It's not even worth my time to try to sell it piecemeal. It would give me pleasure to give it to you, Jason. Jack London opened a pouch on the outside of his pack-sack, pulled out an envelope. The inventory is all listed. You'll see I've scratched out the stove, shovels, sled, tent, and boat-building tools. I've taken those. The outfit should weigh no more than 1,100 or 1,200 pounds. London pulled out a pencil, scribbled a message, signed with flourish, and dated it. There, it's done. Everything with the Shepard brand belongs to Jason Hawthorne. You'll have no trouble locating the outfit. CS with lightning bolts on both sides under a big spruce down in Canyon City. This is twice you've helped me. Say, you don't have any mind fodder, do you? It's going to be a long winter, and I've only got 6 volumes in my library. Darwin, Huxley, Spencer, Dante, Milton, and Marx. Jason brightened. I do have something. I have a Kipling, The Seven Scenes. You don't mean it. The man's prose is superb. That book would be worth its weight in gold. A fair trade for Captain Shepard's outfit, I'd say. They shook on their trade and their friendship. With his Kipling stowed, Jack hoisted his pack to a knee-high rock, squatted under it, reached for his walking stick, then stood up, muscles rippling. My 12th and last run up the Chilkoot, he declared through gritted teeth. Come see me when you get to Linneman, Jason, and wave me off the goldfields. Jason watched the striking figure in scarlet underwear join the line at the bottom of the Chilkoot. He followed Jack London's slow progress up the staggeringly steep slope as he alternately scanned the description of Captain Shepard's outfit. Jason's Hawthorne's outfit now. Under foodstuffs, 400 pounds of flour, 50 pounds of cornmeal, 50 pounds of oatmeal, 3,500 pounds of rice, 100 pounds of beans, 100 pounds of sugar, 8 pounds of baking powder, 200 pounds of bacon, 2 pounds of soda, 36 yeast cakes, 15 pounds of salt, 1 pound of pepper, 25 pounds of tinned fish, 25 pounds of coffee, 5 pounds of tea, 4 dozen tins condensed milk, 25 cans of lard, 25 pounds of apples, 25 pounds of peaches, 25 pounds of apricots, 10 pounds of plums, 50 pounds of onions, 50 pounds of potatoes, 50 pounds of soup vegetables. All fruit and vegetables were dried. Under hard goods, 40 pounds of candles, 5 bars of laundry soap, 60 boxes of matches, match dry safe, gold pan, 3 nesting buckets, a cup, cutlery, 2 fry pans, a coffee pot, light and heavy sacks, sewing and first aid kits, whetstone, hatchet, file, axe, rifle, ammunition, butcher knife, 200 feet of rope. Jason looked up. The bright red patch that was Jack was halfway up, still inching higher. He looked back down at the list. The full measure of the band's generosity began to sink in. Here was the means to join a Klondike partnership. Over the shoulder of the Chilkoot went a tiny patch of red. A minute later, Jason was starting down Log Hill. We aren't retreating, he assured the husky. We aren't beaten by a Loudon shot.